say that I have the manuscript off to the editor/publisher for my book, which took a long time in the making. The whole idea actually started about November of 2015. So it's been quite some time that I drummed up the idea, and then, you know what, daily, with a little bit of work each day, I made it happen. And with our newborn, it was really tough because she's only awake for maybe 40 minutes at a time, and then she's nursing, she needs a diaper change, then nap time and everything like that. So it was really hard to finally get it off to the editor, and at the same time it's really tough for me to be able to watch the market consistently to get into trades and out of trades very efficiently, and keeping profits. Like I always say, you always want to protect yourself, but I feel like every time I put in a hard stop, when I was trading in the past, the market makers would go ahead and execute it, so it was not a good scenario for me. So I'm doing a lot more of that, of tracking the market, tracking the price action. And on Friday, while I was finishing up the manuscript, let me backtrack a bit. So the book is due to be out mid-May to June. As I find more updates, I will let you guys know. And when I was finishing it up on Friday, I was watching the market, and you can go back, you can see my tweets. I was tweeting about Htgm, which basically, that one I caught right at 860, went ahead and tweeted it and started watching it. Boom, shot up, pulled back, ran up again, halt. And then it kept getting halted. So you can see there's a lot of interest in these lower float stocks. Again, ZAIS did the same thing. And then at the end of the day, there was COGT, which had a big spike and a large percentage gain on the day based on the fact that there were insiders buying back on March 22nd. And if you look back a little bit further, you can see that these insiders keep buying and buying. And right now, that's actually the first one on my watch list for the week going forward as a long, because there are 12.9 million there in the float, and there was the insider buying, which blew up the volume for the day. It was 4 times more than usual for a trading day. And we see that it closed at 440, or is it 340? Sorry, I don't have that in my notes. And 440. And the stock itself has a high of 620. It is a 5-cent ticker, so it can run fairly quickly. If you look at the volume, it's slowly ramping up. This is the highest it's been for a while now. And we'll see what happens on Monday, but it did close up. Actually, it closed at 430, 10 cents after hours to 440. And we'll see what happens on Monday, if there's a nice continuation for a gap up on Monday. The rest of my longs for the week, it seemed like the market had more longs going into Monday than shorts. However, I do have more than my average 5 on either side. So for my longs, as always, guys, if the price target is met in the direction that I'm indicating, it seems like it would be a good buy. These are just my opinions. It is not an advisement to go out and trade. As always, there's a lot of risks, so make sure that you do your due diligence beforehand and your own research. So longs for Monday and the whole week, we have Htgm. If it breaks 10, it closed below 10 on Friday. And then I'd say the next level up after that would be 13.25. It does run up very, very quickly because there are only 4.25 million in the float. We have GBR if it breaks 2, CGIX if it breaks 3.95, BCOV, again, this is the second time I've had it on the watch list. I had it on last week as well, if it breaks 930. It did go and touch 930, pulled back, and now it's testing it again. We have RGLS if it breaks 1.55 for a gap fill up above that. RDCM at $22 if it can break that. SUPN if it breaks 30, and CNAT if it breaks $5. Going into the shorts, on Friday we have ZAIS that spiked up. I mentioned it, I said, watch guys, this is a sleeper. At 11 o'clock it's probably going to run up, and sure enough it had that movement. Then it did close down at 2.80, so it opened high, spiked, and pulled back. Now if it breaks down below 2.80, there is a little bit of a gap to the bottom to break down as a short. It's about 50 cents, so if you have enough shares you can make a nice profit there. We have MU, Micron Technologies. If it breaks 28 to the downside. It's slowly been climbing, but it looks like it's got a nice double top there, and it should pull back a little bit. Aaoi, if it can break down below 53.75, that was one on the watch list 2 weeks ago as a short, and instead it actually spiked up and then it pulled back. It's been having some selling off since it hit a new high. Aamc, same thing. That was on last week for if it broke through 60. Sure enough, it did. The new level of support to break through would be 54. If 54 breaks, it looks like it's going to continue down in a downward trend for a little bit. AGX, if it breaks below 64. WAB, if it breaks below 75. And SIM, if it breaks below 1250. As always, guys, carpe profit, seize those profits one at a time. That's what's going to grow your account. Very excited again to share the book with you. It should be out, like I said, mid-May to June. If you are interested in finding anything else about the book out, feel free to send me an email at carpeprofit@gmail.com. Or if you have any other questions, always happy to help. With the little ones, I do sometimes answer in the middle